Hey guys, you're in the kitchen with Stephanie from Vitality Health Solutions. And for Easter, I am at the request of my kiddo, who is making me go through all this, and now not even going to be there, making green bean casserole from scratch, which means I have to make cream of mushroom soup from scratch first. So come on in, camera girl. This is like such an easy recipe, and I don't know why anybody would store buy it when you could. This is such a good way to get like really good ingredients in it. So in here, I've just got butter to cover the pan, and then I've got my mushrooms. A 1 serving recipe would be 8 ounces of mushroom and 1 cup of all the liquids I'm going to do, but because I'm using these Costco size for big recipe of green bean casserole, I am more than doubling the recipe. So you just cook your mushrooms on an open burner until it's nice and soft. And I'm also going to do some food swaps. So just to make the video interesting and show you how to do some food swaps, this is going to be a dairy-free, gluten-free version. So normally you would use 1 cup, or if you're doubling it, I'm going to use 2.5 cups of half and half. But I'm going to use organic coconut milk, and I like coconut milk because it gives it like kind of a sweetness to it. So I am going to do coconut milk. That one's a little separated, but that's all right, it'll cook down. And then you would normally do 1 cup of broth, and this is why I love the homemade version, so I can get my good homemade bone broth that everybody's always wondering how to use, but it's perfect to have on hand for recipes like this, for steaming your vegetables, or making soup, or however you can sneak it in. So we got our bone broth. And then it normally calls for, if you're making 1 serving, a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to swap out with coconut flour, which means I'm going to have to add egg because coconut flour doesn't have any gluten, so it doesn't hold together the same. So I got my 1/2 cup of coconut flour, and right here I have 2 eggs beaten. So when you are substituting all-purpose flour for coconut flour, for every 1/4 cup, you want to add 1 egg, and that helps it like thicken and stick together the same way it should if there was gluten in it. And then from there, I'm just going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, pepper, onion, and garlic. We got some good Himalayan sea salt. Don't use iodized salt. Don't ruin a good recipe with crappy salt and crappy ingredients. But really, that's all the recipe is. And so it's very, very simple, and this way you can do whatever food swaps are conducive to your way of eating or your family's way of eating, and you can get some good quality bone broth in there. So, I mean, this is going to take a few minutes, but what you would do from here is you just kind of stir it up, bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, you want to continuously whisk it for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then it will start to thicken, and when it does, you just throw it into a dish or whatever, and you let it set, and it will thicken even more. And then I'm going to use it to pour right on top of my green bean casserole. I am even home making the crispy onions on top, so hopefully it turns out. So Stephanie with Vitality Health Solutions, let me know what your guys' favorite Easter recipes are, and I want to know what your favorite food swaps are. The most popular ones in your kitchen. Like the video, share the video, and happy Easter, everybody!